This is Goku Sunday BC, and welcome back to Top 10. Well, I guess instead of being Sunday, call it Top 10 Weekend. And right now, of course, I'm recording on New Year's Eve, and I hope everyone also out there has a good New Year. With that said, this is the Top 10, my personal Top 10 favorite movies of 2016. Now, first honorable mentions and a couple of dishonorable mentions, like probably three of my least favorite movies of this year. First honorable mentions: X-Men Apocalypse, Warcraft, The Witch, The BFG, and that's it for honorable mentions. Dishonorable mentions: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, The Boy, and by far, in my view, the worst movie of this year, Gods of Egypt. Now, starting in at number... Oh wait, one last honorable mention I forgot about. Zootopia. Number 10. From the only third movie right now in the DCEU. Or rather, the DC movie universe. Suicide Squad comes in at number 10. It's not a super great movie, but it's a fun movie. I'll put it that way. It's like a villain version and a DC, I guess you could say, sort of take or copy of Guardians of the Galaxy. Which, of course, as you can tell, I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. But yeah, of the two films this year from DC live action wise, Suicide Squad I feel is far better than Batman v Superman. And the music was good also in Suicide Squad. Characters, and unlike some people out there, I did not hate on Jared Leto, Joker. I actually didn't mind that take or style. And Margot Robbie was a fun Harley Quinn. And I liked also Will Smith as Deadshot. Coming in at number 9, Star Trek Beyond, which of course is the third movie in the reimagining or alternate universe Star Trek series, or reboot for some people. But good movie, and it definitely has a little more elements of the older Star Trek series, more exploration stuff. Though there's still tons and tons of action, there's not quite as much in this one as the first of the new movies and Star Trek Into Darkness. Beyond is, I feel, a very well done movie and a good Star Trek film in my personal opinion, but that's just my opinion. Coming in at number 8 was a good drama this year that involved a person that I feel needs to be pardoned, and that being Edward Snowden, and the movie about him, Snowden, comes in at number 8. Really good film. I genuinely actually surprised at how much I liked this movie. So, and especially given apparently it was actually pretty loyal to what actually happened involving Edward Snowden. But, with that said, Snowden comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, from James Wan, the king, really, of horror of nowadays, which has done some of my favorite movies like the Insidious trilogy, the first Saw, which I didn't care much for, and, of course, more recently did Fury 7, and now is working on the other projects like Aquaman. But yeah, coming in at number 7 is The Conjuring 2. I actually think I may have liked The Conjuring 2 more than The Conjuring. Conjuring is an incredible film, don't get me wrong. But there's just certain elements I liked more in this movie. I think I like that creepy, like, demonic spirit or whatever nun that was in it. I actually found that an interesting design and overall look, and I am going to be curious to learn more about. Of course, they're making a movie now about that character. Hopefully it's a lot better than Annabelle was. Coming in at number 6. From Walt Disney, the newest added live-action adaptation of a classic Disney animated film. And coming in at number 6 is The Jungle Book. I genuinely had a lot of fun with this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I will say, for the most part, the acting was superb from the only actual real person in the movie that was not CGI. And it's hard to believe that entire movie was done in a growing studio in Burbank, California. That's insane because the actual backgrounds look completely real. Not all the animals, some of the animals do, of course, look obviously CGI, like the tiger, also, I would say others that look completely CGI, obviously Call, the snake, and obviously also, well, and of course Baloo also, though Baloo actually looks really good, but the wolves, goodness gracious, the wolves, you can't even tell they're freaking CGI, they look real, 100%. That's ridiculous how good and how far CG has come in just the past decade. Talk about a huge leap. I mean, just in the last probably 2 or 3 years, it's gone even better. It's getting to a ridiculous point where you're not going to be able to tell CG from real. That's kind of freaky. Coming in at number 5. From the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Coming in number 5 is the most recent movie starring, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch. And that is Doctor Strange comes in number 5. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Doctor Strange was just an enjoyment, just a great time, a well-executed movie. The CG was good, the acting was good, but I expect nothing less of Benedict Cumberbatch. He is an awesome actor. I loved him and everything. He was by far the best part about Star Trek Into Darkness, was him and his take on Khan. Was a lot of fun. Loved him, of course, as the voice of Smaug, the dragon, from the Hobbit movies. Coming in at number 4 is the only stop-motion movie on this list. But I genuinely was really curious to see a movie given the studio that made this film also worked on movies like Coraline, which was an incredible movie, I might add, and a few other really good stop-motion movies. But this movie was ridiculously good. Even though Tim Burton was not involved, it felt like a Tim Burton type film. The voice acting was superb, and I'm a big fan of stop motion, like clay animation and things like that. I've always been a big fan, which is why I'm a big Tim Burton fan. But number 4 is Kubo and the Two Strings. Loved this movie. It was so much fun, such an enjoyment to watch. And I will say, if you have not had the chance to check out Kubo and the Two Strings, seriously, you need to check it out. And they actually did a good job, like the storytelling and stuff, sort of on like ancient myths and stuff from the Far East. That was awesome, which just added to the really good lore and stuff, the backstory of this world. It was so well done and so well executed. I mean, this is some of the best storytelling I've seen in years, and easily the best stop-motion movie I've seen in I don't know how long, in all honesty. Coming in at number 3. Making her screenplay debut writing this film, named after a small type of textbook taking place in the wizarding world. Coming in at number 3 is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This was a generally really fun movie. I will admit this is high up on the list because I'm biased as a huge Harry Potter head. Harry Potter head, or just Potterhead. But as a big Harry Potter fan, Harry Potter. But a lot of fun, and I am going to be curious given, spoiler alert, you see a little bit of a cameo at the end, the real reveal of the main baddie of this new franchise of 5 movies, Johnny Depp. So I will be curious. I hope Johnny Depp doesn't give that just weird old type kooky, eccentric character, basic one that he's giving a lot of movies. I really hope he actually really puts a little more into the actual character, since it's the big baddie. This is the guy who is considered the most dangerous dark wizard in the wizarding world until the rise of Lord Voldemort. So I will be curious to see how progressing forward he does, and I think this does a great job of introducing us to this time period piece, and also this younger, I guess you could say, older part of the wizarding world, since it takes place almost like 70 years prior to the events of the first Harry Potter film. So, be curious to see. Coming in at number 2 is a movie I was looking forward to. Since I was never the biggest comic book fan of this character, 20th Century Fox knocked it out of the park, thanks to Ryan Reynolds. So now you already know what my number 2 favorite movie of the year is. Deadpool. So much fun, so great seeing all the jokes and the awesome music in it, like especially Salt and Pepper. Good song. I'm not a big hip-hop fan, but that's an awesome song. And so many other good songs in it, like Careless Whispers, another good classic 80s song. And I highly recommend, seriously, if you've not watched Deadpool, what's one question? What the heck is wrong with you? Seriously, if you have, you gotta admit, it's a really fun movie, one of the most fun movies. I think this year, genuinely, I had probably the most fun experience overall. The comedy was really good, and all the fourth wall jokes were hilarious, and I love the interactions he had with Colossus. That was a lot of fun to watch. And when that girl jumps off of that high platform, and Depp was like, superhero landing, she's going to do a superhero landing, and then does that superhero landing, kind of mocking towards, say, DC and the MCU, because that style of landings and stuff, that made it hilarious, honestly. And I don't know how many times I laughed throughout this movie. It was ridiculous. Number 1 is a tie. First time ever I've had number 1 in a deadlock tie. It's between one, easily in the top 3 best Marvel Cinematic Universe movies made to date. And that is the first of the 2, Captain America: Civil War. That airport scene, in my view, is probably the best fight scene in any comic book movie, period, that's ever been made. That's my personal opinion, though. And the movie was so good. There was definitely a lot of importance in it, especially involving not just Captain America, but also it was a great introduction to the new Tom Holland Spider-Man. It was also a great introduction for, of course, Black Panther, which is going to be an interesting movie, I'd say. And I'm going to be curious to see and learn more about the backstory of Black Panther character, because I never read Black Panther comics. I was raised reading Spider-Man. I've always been a hardcore Spider-Man fan in the Marvel Universe, being easily my favorite. Obviously, from a lot of my comic book pickups, that's easy to tell. Tied with it, obvious, given what I'm wearing. Tied is Star Wars Rogue One for number 1 spot. Loved Rogue One. So much fun, and literally, if you watch Rogue One, you literally need to watch A New Hope right after. They go together so perfectly. I mean, it explains so much about in A New Hope. So good. My only gripe about this movie was the music score. This is the very first Star Wars movie where the music score was not done by John Williams. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I still very much, other than that, I really have nothing to complain about with this movie. Because I would have to give this movie probably a 9.5 out of 10. Which is pretty impressive. It's not a 10 out of 10 like The Force Awakens, but oh well. But this was really, really good. I thought a pretty good year for movies for the most part. And I like the diversity of different styles of the movies. Like, a lot of the comic book films, had completely different styles to them. Deadpool, more gritty and comedy. You had Captain America Civil War, which had elements of the spy thriller and stuff, which you had also in The Winter Soldier. Doctor Strange with more of a mythological type movie. And Suicide Squad, which is a more gritty, but also action-type comedy, I guess you could say in a lot of ways. But the point is, there was different feel for each of the comic book films this year. So I found that kind of nice, and yeah, Fantastic Beasts was a really good time period / fantasy piece. So, anyways, I'll get ready to cut up this vlog. I hope you have a good upcoming 2017. Peace out. This is GokuSunDBZ. Please follow me at twitter.com/GokuSunDBZ as well as at Google+. And I'll see y'all soon enough for a gameplay that I'm going to be doing today of a fighting game I've already done a bunch of gameplays for, but later today I'm planning on doing another playthrough of Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO. And I'm working and debating what will be the next game I do a game review / playthrough of. So we'll find out. Also, I'm going to be working on in the near future, a movie review, but this weekend I can promise you at least 2 comic book reviews coming out. One is a Street Fighter next stage, and Street Fighter the Ultimate Edition. But I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.